we've been talking to this company who are doing some voice generation AI stuff, and that kind of made me kind of interested in that space. We've talked about it previously. We've even talked about was it Synthesia or something like that? One of us talked about at one point, which is like the video version of that has like an avatar, and their kind of mouth moves kind of similar to like the audio. It's like not great, but it's a good start. So I was thinking about that, and I found this interesting platform called Flicky, and it basically just creates, those little videos we used to like talk about them a bit before. The little like random informative videos that are people actually making like advertising, and it's like, I don't know, five ways to like improve your mental health or something like that. And it's got, one of them's having a sleep,
and it's all
one
kind of stock photos over and then it's
all
text
stock
over
photos.
stock photos. Yeah,
that stuff. It's one of those things. But yeah, let me just show you. It has like this cool twist. So
right.
I'll just show you how I thought what it might be fun to do is for me to share my screen since we're like online. Let's like leverage this, right?
Absolutely.
And so I'm on my screen. Let me just like create it in front of you. Like we'll make it in 2 seconds. We'll make ourselves a little podcast.
Oh, very interested.
So the first thing to talk about is a platform called PromptBase, which is what you can see on your screen there. I'll go back to their homepage to give you a good gauge of it. So this is a little interesting product. Again, I think it's probably going to become irrelevant quite quick as some of these other second and third layer tools to use AI become more prevalent. But right now it's an interesting product. And so basically people have created proven and effective prompts that give you just a number of variables that you can fill out. And so it kind of like, again, removes the need to think about the substance of what you actually want the outcome to be from your, search in ChatGPT or something.
That's really good consistency.
Yeah, it's an interesting product. So if we go to my account, let me show you. So let's say, for example, I want to find something, and they're they're really cheap. So let's say I want something that's going to create a modern logo for $2.99. It's not going to show me the text here because you're literally just buying block text. That's all you're buying. It's nothing like super tech. You're just buying block text, and then it'll give you a few variables that you can change. And so let me show you ones that I have purchased. So if I go to my account, I've purchased 3. One of them is a LinkedIn post generator, for example, so that you can understand straight away, the content of that. I just want it to be about this topic, this many words, and that's all you say. And then it'll generate like a bunch of the phrasing that's really relevant to LinkedIn and the context around what LinkedIn is and blah, 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 right?
That's great.
One relevant for today is podcast script. So it has a pre-generated podcast script here, prompt. So I'm going to copy this and we're going to go into ChatGPT here. You can see I'm going to copy it in. And so then we're going to change 3 variables. We're going to say duration is going to be 2 minutes. And then we're going to say podcast name is, remember this is just a generic script, is HQLA. And we're going to say topic. We're going to say episode. We'll just say topic, I think. We'll say AI in everyday life, maybe something like that. Great. So then let's just see what spits out here. It's going to generate in real time. Okay, so there's a bit of a script here coming.
That's really cool. Yeah, so that's so interesting. So it's a prompt marketplace. So that's something that I hadn't thought about. That's a really cool idea. And it's very very timely because
yes.
It
might only be relevant for a couple of weeks by the sounds of things.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's given us a script here. Generally speaking, when you're using ChatGPT, the first thing you get is usually not the best, and so you can usually refine it a bit. So we might say make this sound more human, and so let's just let this generate one more time, and then we'll do one more change, and then we'll use that. We'll pop it into the third platform, and then we'll make ourselves a podcast episode.
So I think it would be really interesting for those visuals because I think it's actually better for the visuals than it is for the text, because even using AutoGPT or whatever, you don't exactly know how to describe the look of something, and so for some of those logo text generators, it looked really good because it showed exactly what style the logo was, and the style was really consistent, and that's one thing that's difficult to do with prompts. So
no, I totally agree. And if it wasn't for the kind of interesting twist on this next platform, I do think that would have been a good I guess demonstration. Okay, so here we go. So this is the next platform. This is called Flicky. And so I have purchased 1 month subscription on this one. Thanks, HQLA.
That's
was
what
cheap,
we're here
don't
for.
worry.
That's what we're here for.
Okay, so now you can see a bunch of visuals connected to it. So I'm now going to clean it up a little bit, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what it's going to do. Okay, cool. So we're back. So basically, I've just cleaned up the content here a little bit, removed some of the headings. It took me, 30 seconds. So that's done now. I'll just show you a few other things you can do in here. So if we go more background music, we can choose an audio file. There's one here that I used recently that I think is quite good. And so I'm going to add that there. Maybe like, I think 15% is usually quite good. You can tell I've used this before. The other thing to note is you can go in here and you can change a bunch of the visual stuff. So you can change landscape, portrait, or square. Let's do landscape in this situation. It's going to look better on YouTube, obviously. And that is pretty good. I think we'll do medium-sized font. Again, I kind of know what I'm looking for now. Cool. So that's basically done. And so what I'm going to do is play it. So that's all done now. And so it's already allocated some visuals to it. It's going to put the transcript on the screen. And we've also got some audio. Now, the reason why this platform is really cool and the reason why I did pay the subscription price is because of the voice options. Now, there's a number of options here. So you can choose all of these languages, which is really crazy. And then you can choose all of these dialects or accent is probably what I would call it. And so obviously there's Australian there, which is cool. Fewer options. United States has the most, as you'd expect. You can choose between genders and you can choose between voice styles. Now, my personal favorite, if people are playing, my personal favorite for people who are playing along at home is Marcus as a standard voice. His is quite good, although I do think it might be a premium voice. But look at this one here. See that? It says my name on it. That is because I recorded my voice and it has created a clone of my voice.
That is very incredible.
And it's now going to play a podcast with me talking on the podcast.
So I was talking about this with someone the other day about how we can use AI to replace ourselves on this podcast, which is quite funny.
I'm almost about to do that.
Yes.
Now, one thing I have to mention is obviously this is not just simply recording just to clarify for people who didn't quite get it, this is not just going to play back something I've previously recorded because this is, as you saw, this is brand new, fresh, unique content that I've just pasted in here. So this is actually taking characteristics of my voice and using it as a clone in the voiceover. But the thing to mention here is they only had limited options on accent. And so unfortunately, Australian was not an option. So what's happened is you're about to hear my voice, what it would sound like if I had an American accent, which can be either a feature or a fault. I'm going to call it a feature. So if this podcast included two Americans, one of them being myself, this is what it would sound like. So let me play it for you. Go.
Hey there, and welcome to HQLA, the podcast where we share real-life advice for living your best life. I'm your host, Nathan, and I'm thrilled to dive into the topic of artificial intelligence and how it's taking over the world, one algorithm at a time. Have you ever wondered what Siri thinks about all day? Probably something like, why do humans keep asking me to set timers when they have perfectly good clocks on their phones?
This is like an American version of you.
Today we're going to break down what AI actually is, how it's being used right now, and how we can use it to our advantage. Personally, I've had some pretty interesting experiences with AI. One time I asked my virtual assistant to play some soothing music, and it ended up blasting death metal at full volume. Needless to say, I didn't feel very soothed. But let's get back on track. We'll talk about how AI is being used in industries like healthcare and transportation, and how it's changing the game for businesses and consumers alike. Of course, we can't talk about AI without acknowledging the concerns around privacy and bias. But don't worry, we'll keep it light and sprinkle in some jokes to keep things interesting. Personally, I'm excited about how AI can help us solve big problems like climate change and healthcare access. But I also think we need to be mindful of the potential pitfalls and use AI responsibly and ethically. So, what's your favorite AI mishap? Have you had any hilarious experiences with virtual assistants or self-driving cars? Share your stories with us on social media or in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in to HQLA, and until next time, keep laughing and learning.
At the start, I was like, yeah, that is an American Nathan.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Okay, so that is What were we talking about? That is flicky.
No, I loved it. That was cool. That gives me the idea of like YouTube automation and like TikTok automation. We could have like a bunch of channels and just like keep making content about stuff.
I always wondered, there's a guy who makes, it's called like something productions, and he makes like, he like pumps out these videos with like, it's like literally footage like that.
Yeah.
And it like explains different industries. He like talks about like the logistics of the music industry or something. And they're always really like intriguing topics. And I'm like, how does he keep making all these videos? But he literally just takes the content, probably gets it to be summarized by ChatGPT, creates it into some sort of script, pops it in something like that, puts it on YouTube, and it gets so many views.
Yeah. Well, let's get on that.
Are you struggling to get your name out there? Do you want to attract more customers? Maybe just increase your revenue? Well, look no further than Unique. They're an all-in-one marketing agency, and they'll help take your business to the next level. They believe in marketing that should be both effective and enjoyable, and I tend to agree. So they offer a range of services such as web design, branding, social media management, and lead generation. The team of experts, they'll work with you to develop a tailored marketing strategy that fits the unique needs of your business. And they don't just stop at making you look good, but they're specialized in setting up lead generating machines. Their top secret methods will help you capture and convert your leads, leading to increased sales and revenue for your unique business. So search NEW NIQ UE on Google to learn more and schedule a free marketing consultation via their website. So let Unique take your business to the next level.
Index is a tech-focused recruitment platform passionate about scaling your engineering team, maintaining 95% placement success. To date, they've vetted over 8,000 developers, boasting on average more than 7 years experience across their recruits. Index supplies talent to industry-leading clients such as Omio, a German unicorn that's raised almost $500 million USD, Perforce, a US-based leading DevOps solutions provider with over $300 million USD in annual revenue, and many others, some of which are backed by firms such as Goldman Sachs and Y Combinator. So if you're struggling to find the right talent, concerned about high employee costs and staff turnover, Index has the solution for you. Through comprehensive assessments, in-depth interviews, and a robust vetting process, Index can provide your business with the very best international tech talent in less than 7 business days. For contracts greater than 6 months, Index is offering a 10% discount to HQLA fans the next time you hire using their platform.